Somewhere in a city you may never have heard of, in a laboratory you will never visit, an artificial intelligence just designed a molecule. Not a modification of a molecule that already existed. Not a variation on something that had been tried before. A genuinely new molecule, designed in hours, optimized across dozens of chemical and biological properties simultaneously, predicted to bind to a protein that has been driving a disease for which there is currently no good treatment. This is not a prediction about what artificial intelligence might one day do in medicine. This is what it is doing right now. In clinical trials, in regulatory submissions, in manufacturing facilities running 24 hours a day, in pharmacovigilance systems monitoring hundreds of millions of patients for signals that no human team could detect at that scale. The biopharmaceutical industry has always been extraordinary. It takes a molecule, a structure smaller than anything visible to the naked eye, and turns it into a medicine that reaches millions of patients. Now, for the first time in its history, it has a tool powerful enough to match the complexity of the problem it is trying to solve. For most of the past century, drug discovery worked roughly the same way. Scientists identified a biological target. They screened hundreds of thousands of chemical compounds against it, hoping something would bind. Most things did not. The handful that did were slowly, painstakingly refined, modified, tested, failed, modified again over years. If a candidate eventually made it through preclinical testing, it entered clinical trials. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, 10 to 15 years from initial idea to approved medicine, $2 billion on average. And roughly 90% of drugs that entered human trials never made it through. That model worked. It gave us statins, monoclonal antibodies, cancer immunotherapies, mRNA vaccines. It changed what is survivable. But it was slow and expensive and structured around what human minds and human laboratory processes could handle, which was never enough to fully explore the space of what was biologically possible. That is changing. Not incrementally, not gradually, AlphaFold. An artificial intelligence developed by DeepMind solved a problem that had defeated biology for 50 years, predicting the three-dimensional shape of a protein from its amino acid sequence alone. A problem that had once taken years of laboratory work per protein was solved in seconds, for every protein for free, for anyone in the world who needed it. That was 2020. The field has not stopped accelerating since. Today, AI-designed drug candidates are in clinical trials. An AI-designed drug for a fatal lung disease called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, discovered in 18 months against an industry average of 4 to 6 years, produced positive results in a phase 2 human trial, and was published in Nature Medicine. A personalized cancer vaccine where an AI designs a unique treatment for each patient's specific tumor, halved the risk of melanoma recurrence in a phase 2 trial. A knowledge graph built by a British AI company identified in 3 days a treatment for COVID-19 that subsequently reduced mortality in hospitalized patients by 38% in a large clinical trial. These are not simulations, they are clinical results. The question this course is designed to answer is not whether AI matters in biopharma. That question has been answered. The question is, how does it work? Where exactly is it being used? What does it actually do in each phase of the development pipeline? From the first identification of a biological target, through clinical trials, through manufacturing, through regulatory approval, through the ongoing safety monitoring of millions of patients. Which companies are leading? What has been proven and what is still being proven? That is what this course teaches.